Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I now call this show to order. You're watching Kiwanis Connects on WWDBTV, WWDBTV, Facebook, YouTube, you name it. We're all over the place. You notice I'm the only square that's visible on your screen right now. We're still waiting for Val to connect. She'll be joining us here. Oh, look at that, as if it's on cue. Not that we planned it, but that just worked out. So thank you for joining us, everybody. Now I don't feel as lonely. I now have my partner in crime on the show with us. Doc Val joins us, Lady in Red today. That'll be today's theme in honor of Valentine's Day, I bet, right?
Absolutely. Well, it's not just in honor of Valentine's Day. It's in honor of Wear Red for women's heart health.
Oh, I wish I had known that. I may have to change during the commercial break then.
All righty then. Absolutely.
All right. Well, there she is. She is with us. So I want to welcome everybody for joining us today. Listen, we do have an action-packed show, rapid fire, fast-paced, you name it. We got it all going on. However, none of our guests are logged in as of yet that I'm aware of. So I'll have Val talk about who we're expecting in a second. But first, as always, you can catch us on Facebook, WWDBTV, Kiwanis Connect show page, and, of course, WWDBTV. If you like YouTube instead because you don't want to help Mark Zuckerberg get rich, that's okay. You can use the same 3 pages on YouTube. And on Sunday, 8 a.m. every week, you can always check it out on DBTV.tv, as in Double Burger TV.tv, 8 a.m. Kiwanis Connects runs on that network as well. So you can catch us coming and going. We're all over the place, you name it, because it's working. When you get over 100, 200,000 views, we're doing something right. So
now we're doing something.
Besides Valentine's Day's theme, bad dad jokes, Melissa Atwell and Val's Wow and Kiwanis Moments, what's on tap for today, my friend?
Well, I have a very special spotlight that I want to bring on board today, and it's kind of melding that wow into amazing. Amazing. One of my long-term lieutenant governor friends has started a new foundation. It's the GMA Literacy Foundation, and that's Argentina, Dávila, and say that 12 times fast and be respectful. It can be really difficult.
Sober, and add sober into the mix.
Yeah, sober, absolutely. She's also the author of Nicaraguan Rebel. And so it follows her pathway. And so I'm looking forward to that later on in the show. And our main topic today is really talking about club building and club growing. And so I've invited the #1 club person in America. Hi, Blake. I'm so glad you logged in. And Laura actually is a club mate of mine in Louisiana, Mississippi, Tennessee district. I get to rub shoulders with only the best. And I know that Laura was prepared and is ready to log in. She may be in her own studio right now because she started practicing at 7:30 my time. So we know she's out there. And so we may have to do a quick commercial break, and I'll call her or figure out what's going on because she was so excited about doing this and coming back on the show. I think she came on the show a couple years ago with Kathy Szymanski.
Mm-hmm.
And to be able to do that. And so why don't you take a moment and I will get on the horn with her.
Okay, sounds good. We can certainly do that. There you go, John. Would you do that? Let's put Val over into the green room so she can take care of business with Laura. So listen, club building is very important, and membership retention and all those sort of things. And they all kind of go hand in hand, to be honest with you. Blake, yes, Jones, Oklahoma, Texas, OK district. No, I know, Oklahoma. Thank you, Blake, for checking in. As a matter of fact, if you could do me a favor, since you're in the comments room down there, that little arrow in the lower left-hand corner that has that right hook, hit that. That puts it onto your Facebook page, and then you can share this feed to all your friends and family down there in the Kiwanis district down there, and anybody that would care to know what's happening. Anyway, so we do have, Kiwanis membership is very important, as it is really for all service organizations. But of course, when it comes to Kiwanis, with our long-standing history, it's important that we continue to build and move forward. And yes, you kind of walk that fine line between how do we, revitalize current clubs that may need membership, and at the same time build new clubs. And that's a fine balance, because the needs of many people of an existing club may not fit the right needs for other people that would love to do Kiwanis work, but just don't have the schedule to fit into existing clubs. So we try to think outside the box, and we try to think about different ways with which we can support obtaining more members and continuing to grow Kiwanis. So this is going to be a great topic. And again, as Val mentioned, Laura is a returning guest, so she'll be back on. She is, I guess, the number one, club builder, recruiting member, all within KI, and has been recognized accordingly for that. So we do have some good news. Apparently, Laura is on the way, it looks like now.
Yeah, absolutely. And so this is because we're live. This is real TV, and so we mixed up our time zones, and so it's kind of like when I had one of my friends log in from the Philippines, and they were thinking PM, we were thinking AM, and it ended up being quite an entertaining time.
Yes, so, it was. Good morning, Douglas. Douglas is just checking in from Burbank. I mean, that almost just seems like, after Oklahoma, Philippines, and then we got Burbank, So.
Burbank's pretty awesome. We did our major south in Burbank, and Douglas is part of the hosting crew with the Mostess, and it was one of our best mid-years. And I used some of Laura's skills that she had been sharing about how we do appointments and club building, because I've incorporated that into what we call the club revitalization plan. And so a lot of clubs, they don't need to close. They don't need to recruit 2,000 younger members. They just need to get re-energized, refocused, and make sure that they are doing all the steps necessary to keep their club relevant. And so as we're going through stuff, it is what it is. And I keep pumping Laura up because she's on the phone in here. So I'm gonna mute myself.
Hello, Garden Grove. Adnan, thank you for checking in. Yeah, Kiwanis, beautiful downtown Burbank. Wasn't that Laugh-In, the guy who did the host from beautiful downtown Burbank? I could see his face, but I can't. Gary something or other was the guy's name. I always used to say that. You can't not say beautiful downtown Burbank without putting your right hand over your ear like they used to there on Laugh-In. But anyway, so thank you for all checking in. By the way, I'm going to give a little shout out commercial. Our Kiwanis Connects jerseys are still available for purchase and customization if you're interested in wanting to learn more. The proceeds from those purchases do actually go to supporting keeping this show on the Gary Owens. Thank you. Thank you, John. The purchase of these jerseys do continue to aid the support in keeping the show on the air. So send me an email at kiwanisconnectsinfo@gmail.com, and I will be happy to return the favor with some information about how you too can get a beautiful Kiwanis Connects jersey. I'd love to see as many of these Kiwanis Connects jersey in Manila coming up at International. That'd be pretty cool to see everybody go across the stage and with their Kiwanis Connects jerseys on. So that would be pretty cool. So send me an email at kiwanisconnectsinfo@gmail.com for your beautiful jersey. Yes, Laugh-In. So were you taking a bet from your bookie there on the phone just there, Doc Val? Or was that Laura again?
I think it was even better. It was Miss Laura, and she's actually here.
Oh, okay.
So that is all good.
So she's trying to connect. John just messaged that her devices are not connecting just yet. So we're working on it. We are working on that. So why don't we do this? If we want to reshuffle the deck a little bit to give her a moment, what do you say we run Melissa Atwell's mental health moment for a second or for 30 seconds or so? Give her a chance. So John, if you could cue up Melissa Atwell's spot.
Hi, I'm Melissa Atwell here with your mental health moment. When thoughts are racing, let's try a grounding exercise and keep this in mind for the future. 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, 1 thing you can taste. A fast way to bring yourself back to the present and in the moment. Remember, take a moment for your mental health.
All right. Thank you, Melissa. Appreciate that. You know, you talked about 5 things, 4 things, 3, etc. I'm lucky I have who can remember to do all the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 thing.
But that helps you breathe. And so if you can remember, it helps you breathe. And if not, you got to keep starting back over again until you're calm. Either that or you go.
Not that we would have cause to do that, Doc Val. Not that we would have cause for that. All right. How about our other guests of that other WOW? When are they going to be coming on? Are they going to be checking in, or are we just?
They're going to be checking in. They're checking in at 9:30, but we have Laura.
Laura, just in time for commercial break. No, only kidding. Welcome, Laura. I'm glad everything finally connected through. Good to see you again.
Good to see you too, Aaron.
Right on. See, it's great how we can just kill 15 minutes of nothingness until we get Laura on the hook with us. Good, Doc Val. Let's get started. Go for it.
Hi, Laura. I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And so I know you have traveled all over doing club opening. And so we're going to get right to it because a lot of people have logged in and they want to see you and hear about what you do. So tell us just a little bit about Malaysia and then why you got to go of all people. Because, you know, Lee Kuan Yew never gave me a call.
Well, I was the appointment setter for Lee Kuan Yew. I was on the international international committee to open new clubs. And I've opened about 150 clubs with the help of my friends. And I guess he wanted me to train his people how to set appointments and what to do when you open a new club.
Fantastic. It's like, it just blows my mind. 150 clubs. And you are the one with the mostest. And I think that opening a new club is, I keep telling people, it's like Rice Krispie treats. If you have the skills and you have the right ingredients, it's pretty easy to make it happen. It looks fancy, but it's not. And you take the mystique out of it. And so what is the most important step you think in starting the process of opening a new club?
Well, first of all, you have to get several hundred contacts. And I know you're probably sitting there going, several hundred? Give me a break. Kiwanis International is going to help you with that. We have a new program that's been purchased called Octoparse. It's spelled like octopus, only instead of US at the end, it has ARSE. Octoparse is a program that will scrape different directories, such as the Chamber of Commerce. Any important directory at the site, it will scrape it. And you will end up with several hundred contacts. The only thing it does not do, it doesn't give you the person in charge. So it may give you the school board office, but it won't tell you who the superintendent is. It'll give you the phone number, but it won't give you the email. So you may want to find someone who likes to do research that can go on Google and find out that information for you before the phone calls are even made.
Can any club get access to this Octoparse, or is it something that only we can use through Kiwanis International?
Yes, any club can get access to it. All you have to do is request it.
Okay. Now, you said only have to request it. What's the magic word? Is it just please, or we know Laura? What's the access?
I would just go to Chris Martz, who's in charge of membership, and find out if he can get the ball rolling for you. Kendra Morris, she's the club opening manager for North America. She'd be a good person to go to. And they will get it going, and you will have access to it.
So I want to share that I'm guessing, Val, we can kind of talk about it on a general scope, because Octoparse does have their own website, and in comparison, it would be like Givergy, the online auction that we've talked about not too long ago, where they have their own entity, but they obviously have arrangements with Kiwanis International. So there is a website out there if you want to learn more, and I'm simply going to supply the website to John that he can put on the crawl so people can learn more about it. But before they set anything up, follow what Laura recommends and reach out to the Kiwanis representative. But at least with that website link that John will put up there, people can check out what this program is all about. So it's pretty cool.
And the thing is, the magic part is when you're a Kiwanis club, or you're starting a Kiwanis club, it's free through Kiwanis International. Going on Octoparse and going through your own, if you were to use it to be a realtor or to be an insurance agent, it's going to cost you a little bit. But as a Kiwanian, it doesn't. And I think that's one of the major benefits of being a member of Kiwanis, because that program is powerful. Mm-hmm. And I remember begging for this when 10 years ago when I opened my first club. Is there a way to make this easier? Because Laura, you're right. You need several hundred to just distill down to your first 15. And with those several hundred, one of the hardest parts for me in the process is setting up appointments. There are days when I went, oh no, am I going to have the right skill to set up these appointments? But you're the queen of appointments. People hear your voice and they're just like, yes, I'm going to do this. So tell us your tips and tricks for your appointment setting once you've got that 300 contacts.
And I've set appointments for different sites that have had as many as 1,500 contacts. The main thing is, if you're setting appointments, you need to choose the contacts that you speak their language. So if you're a realtor, call the realtors. If you're in insurance, call the insurance agents. If you're a financial advisor, call the bank and the financial advisors. You speak their language, they relate to you. I usually look at the script. When I first started, I looked at the scripts. There's about 3 of them that we offer at Kiwanis International. And I hate scripts. So what I would do is I'd read the script and I'd say, okay, what do I want to tell them from this script? Number 1, you want to identify yourself. Mm-hmm. Hi, my name is Laura Gilliland. 2, you want to say, and I'm calling on behalf of Kiwanis International. And have I got good news for you? And they're going to think you want money. And it's not that we're taking any donations, so don't worry about that. But we are starting a new Kiwanis Club in your community to serve the children. So what do you think about that? Now, you've got 8 seconds to capture and grab their attention. If you can't do it in 8 seconds, you've lost them. So your voice has to be energetic. You have to sound positive. And a lot of times people will tell you to put a mirror by your phone and your desk. Mm-hmm. Look at yourself. If you're not smiling, if you're not conveying a good time, they're going to think, well, is this a scam? Or do they want money? What is it?
And I also found that when you have a mirror beside your phone, that you don't do that fake car voice. Because there are a lot of people that get on there and they get that, hi, I'm Valerie Brown Klingelhofer, and I just have this thing for you. And you're actually going to get a trip around the moon because you are joining Kiwanis. And all of a sudden it's just like, click. So
sounds like how I got started in this business.
So it's all about being genuine, right? Right, Aaron? Mm-hmm. I know that it's like Laura always comes off as sounding genuine. And we have been in cars. I think Maria in Chicago or Philadelphia. I'm trying to remember where we were sitting in a car and all of a sudden Laura gets on the phone and she starts talking. I'm like, wow. Mm-hmm. How can you tell this lady no? So
well, you try to make the phone call fun. And that's what we do in Kiwanis. We serve children. We all know that. Mm-hmm. But unless we're having fun, it's just not what we want to waste our time on.
Our friend John Crawford is currently watching us through YouTube today, and he puts a message out there. Hey, some of us just sound like that anyway.
There you go.
But if you do, it's like roll with it. But John, you're not one of those that sounds like that. When you talk to people and you get excited, it shows. And that's the difference. It's like if you're genuine about the message and you're sharing what you're doing, but it's Laura, you're so right. It's that first 8 seconds. People's attention span is no longer the 30-second elevator pitch. As I've discovered, if you talk to people in elevators, they think you're creepy. And so it's no longer that where you can get it all out there really fast.
Well, the key is in that quick message, you got to connect emotionally. And like Laura mentioned in that quick hello, Kiwanis, and she mentioned the children, serving children. You've got to make that emotional connection. And when I do my interviews with guests, what they don't realize I'm doing with them is putting that emotional connection out there. Speaking of which, it is time now for that beloved commercial break that we must take to pay our bills. You're listening to Kiwanis Connects. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back from beautiful downtown Burbank.
2 out of 3 kids in America can't read at grade level. And without help, many will never catch up. In a world of screens, short attention spans, and endless distractions, getting kids excited about reading has never been harder. That's where Kiwanis Club steps in. Through Inchi's bookworm vending machines, kids earn tokens for positive behaviors, achievements, kindness, and more, and use them to pick a book they just can't wait to read. Every book is a child's to keep. Every book builds a personal at-home library, and every page sparks curiosity, confidence, and lifelong learning. Your club can make it happen. Let's put more books and more smiles into the hands of kids who need them most. Together, we can change the story, one book at a time. To learn more, go to bookvending.com/Kiwanis.
Does your house need a new paint job, a bathroom remodel, or a new fence around the yard? With 40 years of experience, Different Strokes Painting and Handyman Service handles all type of work inside and out and from floor to ceiling. Different Strokes offers great value and great quality. Call Craig today and schedule your free estimate by dialing 757-395-9999. That's 757-395-9999. Above the rest, they show up and show out by making your vision come to life.
Sometimes I'd like to smack old age right in the kisser. Ow!
I always get the best parking spot.
I think she needs a little more help.
Monday?
What I really need is a boyfriend that can drive at night.
I can make a fashion statement out of anything.
I will be fabulous.
I have a little crush on my pharmacist.
With Comfort Care at your side, you can live your best life possible. We know families can't be there 24/7, which is why we can help with as much or as little home care as you need. From medication reminders and meal prep to everyday chores and errands, so you can live in your own home on your terms.
I wouldn't let aging stop me from being me.
Call Comfort Care now and let us create your personalized care plan and find the perfect caregiver match.
Can you show that number again? She was texting.
Together with Comfort Care, you can both live your best life possible.
And now, stepping out onto the field, number 80, wide receiver, punt return extraordinaire, Mr. Rick Upchurch joins the chat room. Welcome back, everybody. Kiwanis. Did you like that new commercial for Comfort Care there, Val?
Oh, my goodness. I absolutely love it. Hey, Rick, I know you don't need Comfort Care, but we got a call from Tiffany here in San Diego. And I just want to say Comfort Care isn't just on the East Coast. It's all over. It's nationwide. And personally, I can share with you, these people are amazing. And the actors that are in this show are not far from the reality, because they just give dignity back, and there's laughter that goes with it. So thank you, Comfort Care, for making our world a little bit better.
Absolutely. Thank you, everybody. All right, so welcome back. We have the incomparable club builder and membership person extraordinaire. Laura joins us. Take it away, Val.
So Laura, you talked about that, the first 8 seconds and what you do. But how do you actually, what's the dialogue that you do to actually get them to commit to making an appointment and actually showing up? Because there's one thing where people will go, yeah, 8 o'clock. And then you show up at 8 o'clock and they go, I didn't really think you're going to show up. But when you make phone calls, they show up.
Well, when you make the phone call or you're going into an appointment, it's all the same. You try to engage them with questions. You try to get them to talk because they know more about themselves than they know about anything else on the planet. And if they talk, the more they talk, the more you're going to get appointments and the more members you're going to get.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that. If you leave the phone call or you leave the appointment and you have done more than 50% of the talking, chances are you didn't get the appointment and you didn't get the new member. So remember, it's very important to get them to talk. Now, how do you do this? You have to ask them engaging questions. Tell me a little about yourself. What do you know about Kiwanis? Have you ever heard of Key Club? And you tell them Key Club is the world's largest high school service organization, the world's largest. Even in New Jersey, I believe they have 10,500 Key Clubbers in that little bitty state.
Mm-hmm.
My original home
Kiwanis has been around a while, 111 years as of last month. If you can dream it, we've probably done it many, many times over 111 years. And we're in 85 countries. So those are some of the things you tell them. I have a list of engaging questions that you can ask in a phone call and in an appointment. So if you'd like a list of those questions, I'd be happy to share it with you.
I want to, I'm reading the comments and Rick just put up a wow because of listening to the data that Laura just put up. And I think Rick got indoctrinated very heavily into Kiwanis last August at the Decon when he was kind enough to join us for the miniature golf stuff. But John, I know you're eavesdropping on this. I really would like you to get Rick, extend an invite to him and Donna to go with you to the Centennial Hills Club. And let him be a guest to a Kiwanis meeting and check it out from the inside, not just from the great stuff we share here on the show. But Rick, I would love for you to attend a meeting and see what Kiwanis is as well. You do listen. Rick does great philanthropic work in the city of Las Vegas and Colorado, and wherever he goes, he works with youth. But I think Rick would be a great find for Kiwanis, not there in Las Vegas. And then, you know what, with a guy like him, with all the people he knows, and start NFL alumni Kiwanis clubs and special interest groups and things like that, he could be a great source for club building down the line if you were, if so interested. So, Rick, I've put the challenge out there, my friend, and John.
And the best part is Rick gives the best hugs ever. So I'm just saying, I go where the love is. And so absolutely. And
carrying that football, he's got to hold it tight. So everything he holds, he just like brings you right in.
Poor Laura.
Sorry, Laura.
Laura.
I digress.
It's just like you have a bunch. I know that you have those 11. And so why don't we bounce? Let's go with a couple of them. So what's a highlight, and let's talk about it. So an interesting question.
Oh, an engaging question?
An engaging question, yes.
Well, probably the most important one is, can you tell me a little about yourself? I think that's really major.
And if someone can't tell you about themselves, maybe they're not good for being a Kiwanian because they're still in a developmental stage where they're exploring themselves.
And sometimes when you're just getting started calling, you may want to Google the person and see what you can find on LinkedIn, Facebook, just on Google.
Absolutely.
You can ask them what they know about Kiwanis.
Mm-hmm.
You can talk to them about service leadership programs, and you ask them, what do you know about Key Club? When you ask them that, lots of times districts will give a discount, a drastic discount, to a former service leadership program member, such as Key Club, Circle K.
And one of the things, Laura, I'm going to jump in there because out here, what I discovered is some people know about Builders Club. And although there's not a discount for Builders Club, a lot of Kiwanis clubs in the 90s and early 2000s actually sponsored little leagues, and they made their little league team a Builders Club. And it gave extra insurance while also teaching them leadership styles and being able to fundraise and do service. And so there are a bunch of kids all over the world that have Kiwanis on the back of their Little League jerseys.
That's wonderful. And people may recognize that as well.
Mm-hmm.
They want to ask them questions like, what do you think about Kiwanis coming to your community? And if they don't know, then you could tell them something like, did you know that an average Kiwanian impacts the lives of 106 children a year? So once we get this new club up rocking and rolling, you're going to see a huge impact on your community. But I believe Aaron was talking about this. One of the main things that you need to do when you're setting an appointment or in an appointment is building a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I try to do that simply by setting the appointment. Lee Kuan Yeung told me last year that he spent most of his year going back and forth from the States to Malaysia. And he said that when he was opening clubs, they'd say, well, where's Laura? Because they built that relationship with me,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and they expected to see me when they had the appointment.
You became the brand, almost the face of the brand of membership.
Now, thank you. When you're setting the appointment, you need to recognize what their value is.
Mm-hmm.
And you reiterate that value to them at the end, and that's why you want the appointment with them. Or that's why you think they should become a Kiwanian if you're in the appointment. Brad Boyd always says, he's an area director. I think everybody knows him.
Mm-hmm.
Don't ask them to join Kiwanis. Tell them that they would make a great Kiwanian and you'd like them to become a Kiwanian. Because after all, we are a family. And we want them to become a part of our family. And it sounds more warm to say become rather than to join.
Absolutely. And it's just like one of the things I use out here, because Hawaii is part of our district and it's just integral to me, is it's Ohana. And Ohana has that greater than just being blood relatives or close friends, but it's that community spirit. And I think Kiwanis is Ohana. So absolutely.
Now,
Yeah.
I also wanted to talk a little about closing. Could I have a minute for that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Val, are you good with that?
Of course I am.
No, that's it. Let's just leave him hanging there, Laura. Let's just leave
I'm
him
like, wait a minute, you're the queen. I have the sash here. But
Yes,
you are true.
You have to build a relationship. You have to build rapport, build trust. And this can be done by, once you're in the appointment, by your body language.
Mm-hmm.
You lean forward in your chair. You make eye contact. If you leave the appointment and cannot tell your buddy that you're out in the field with what color their eyes were, you weren't paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
You need to smile. You need to nod when they talk. Ask engaging questions and take notes. Let the prospect do the talking. I'm repeating myself, but it's very important to let them do the talking. Because you probably sent a follow-up email after the appointment was made, so they know a little about Kiwanis. Some people will go as far as to do the research, which I put the website in the follow-up email, Kiwanis.org. So they know a little about Kiwanis already. So you let them do the talking, and prior to going into the appointment, sometimes I will look it up on Google to find out if they've won any awards, and then I jot that down. And when I go into the appointment, I say, tell me a little about yourself. Well, you didn't mention this award I know that you won, and let them know you've done your homework. I always tell them I'm a teacher. I do my homework, so I know you've won all these awards. And we are very impressed with that. Val said a few minutes ago, she goes where the love is. She told me that about 5 years ago, and I've never forgotten it. And you know, people that set appointments, people that become Kiwanians, they go where the love is. If you let them talk, they will become a Kiwanian. They will make the appointment. So it's very important that you recognize that you have to offer. And what I mean by go where the love is, they recognize that you are interested in what they say. When you lean forward, you nod your head, you make eye contact. All of that's very important. And then at the end, you say, you know, you are exactly what this new club needs. And the first thing out of their mouth usually is why. And that's when you reiterate, well, you've won this award, you've won that award. You could be a mentor to the new members. You may not even have to do anything in Kiwanis except help guide people to do what you do.
Gives them a natural fit right away. Shows the need for their presence and participation right out of the gate.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely powerful. You know, Laura, that's the connect. And that's why I think we named our show Kiwanis Connects, because we're showing people where the love is and how to be able to really make lifelong engaging connections with what we do. And it's not always that blatant, here, fill out an application, make it work. It is this is what we do. This is why we want you to be a part of what we're doing. Or in this community, there's a lot of need. And while I don't live here, it's clear that you're the type of person that can make that, fulfill that need. And that's when I go into other communities. Because oftentimes we go into communities where we don't look like or sound like the people that we're recruiting. And oftentimes, if we don't make that connect in the first 8 seconds, their brain is swirling of, why is this person from California sitting here in my space in Southern Texas and all of that? And so I just try to make sure that following your recommendations that you look up people so you know a little bit about them ahead of time. And if you don't know, if they don't have a digital footprint, look around the office when you're going in. And it's like, yes, you're being nosy. It's okay to be nosy. And you'll see, like Blake said, you'll see the Little League, or you'll see what's happening right now, which is flag football. There are tons of businesses that are getting together and they're sponsoring flag football because it's multi-gender. It's all kids can play at all different levels. Adults can play without getting hurt. And so knowing just a little bit about flag football could potentially go a long way.
Yeah. I even sponsored a BMX Boys and Girls Club last year, the biking BMX stuff up in Richmond. Not even in my neighborhood, but they watched one of my other shows, contacted me. And so you never know where Kiwanis name will pop in. So all great ideas. I want to take our second break. Is Laura, are you staying with us to the top in the next segment, or Val? What's our layout here?
If Laura will stay with us, that'd be wonderful, because I know she's got a couple more hints as we wait for Argentina.
Are you
okay with that, Laura?
I'd like to talk about the Google Doc if we have time.
Absolutely. Come on back.
All right. Kiwanis Connects, more with Laura and Google Docs right after this.
Sometimes I'd like to smack old age right in the kisser. Ow!
I always get the best parking spot.
I think she needs a little more help.
Monday.
What I really need is a boyfriend that can drive at night.
I can make a fashion statement out of anything.
I will be fabulous.
I have a little crush on my pharmacist.
With Comfort Care at your side, you can live your best life possible. We know families can't be there 24/7, which is why we can help with as much or as little home care as you need. From medication reminders and meal prep to everyday chores and errands, so you can live in your own home on your terms.
I wouldn't let aging stop me from being me.
Call Comfort Care now and let us create your personalized care plan and find the perfect caregiver match.
Can you show that number again? She was texting.
Together with Comfort Care, you can both live your best life possible.
Does your house need a new paint job, a bathroom remodel, or a new fence around the yard? With 40 years of experience, Different Strokes Painting and Handyman Service handles all type of work inside and out and from floor to ceiling. Different Strokes offers great value and great quality. Call Craig today and schedule your free estimate by dialing 757-395-9999. That's 757-395-9999. Above the rest, they show up and show out by making your vision come to life.
2 out of 3 kids in America can't read at grade level. And without help, many will never catch up. In a world of screens, short attention spans, and endless distractions, getting kids excited about reading has never been harder. That's where Kiwanis Club steps in. Through Inchi's bookworm vending machines, kids earn tokens for positive behaviors, achievements, kindness, and more, and use them to pick a book they just can't wait to read. Every book is a child's to keep. Every book builds a personal at-home library, and every page sparks curiosity, confidence, and lifelong learning. Your club can make it happen. Let's put more books and more smiles into the hands of kids who need them most. Together, we can change the story, one book at a time. To learn more, go to bookvending.com/Kiwanis.
All right, welcome back. Small little quick short story from last week's episode. We had guests Cecile and Mighty on as they were traveling from California to Vegas. So I'm moving stuff around here in my office, which is kind of good to do every once in a while, a little spring cleaning early. And as I'm moving stuff around, I discovered a business card that I had. Let me see if I can quickly, there you go.
There they are.
And I realized that's because I chatted with them at DCon last year in Las Vegas after I did my seminar on social media. The 3 of us chatted. They were asking me questions about social media and ways to build that up. So I'm like, wow, small world. Here we are. I talked with them and I found their card. And so anyway, don't ask me why I brought that up. I just found the card and I was tickled pink that I made a connection on my brain. Anyway, welcome back to Kiwanis Connects, one with Laura. She wants to talk about a Google Doc that is very useful for club building and membership gathering and all that stuff. So, Laura, take it away.
Okay, this may take about 3 minutes. Do we have that kind of time?
Absolutely. Do your thing.
Okay. I'd also like to talk about when you arrive at the appointment and when you leave the appointment. And all of this is nothing but common sense. All I'm doing is bringing it to the forefront so you will remember to do it. You need to, 1, make a great face for Kiwanis by wearing dressy casual along with your Kiwanis logo. You see, I have a jacket. It's not a Kiwanis jacket, but I have the Kiwanis logo on here. So when I go into an appointment, they know. If you've got a Kiwanis bag with you, show that Kiwanis emblem on the front of that bag when you walk in the door. Reach out and shake their hand when you walk in the door. State your name and give them your business card. If you don't have business cards, get some business cards, because if they need to contact you, they may be lost and not know how to get in touch with you. So make sure you give them a card. If the contact becomes a Kiwanian, when you get ready to go, make sure you congratulate that person. Take a photo, put it in the group text, put it on Facebook, social media. Tell them that you'd like to promote their business by doing that. Ask them if it's okay with them if you do. Regardless of whether the contact joined or did not join, ask them for referrals.
Yes.
And have them text the referral ahead of your call. Tell them that they can say, you know, this is a great organization. I think you'd be a good fit. Would you be up for Kiwanis getting in touch with you? Thank the contact for the time that they gave you and shake their hand on your way out the door. So that's just common sense, but don't forget to do that. Now, I told you I was going to talk about the Google Doc. Sometimes we call it the Google spreadsheet. And that's where you get all the contacts from Octoparse. You first need to identify the contact that you will be calling. Now, if you're, like I said before, if you're a realtor, you might want to put your initials where it says contacted by under that column. VBK, Valerie Brown Klingelhofer. I always write my full name because if somebody else has the name Laura, I want them to make sure that they know this is me. Then you also need to identify that the name of the contact person that you're going to be speaking with, their title. If they're the superintendent of schools, put that down there. You need their email. I'm going to tell you in a minute why you need their email. One thing you need their email for at this point is when you finish the phone call, you want to email them with a follow-up email. If you need an example of a follow-up email, I'll be happy to share one with you. You don't have to use mine, but you can put it in your own words. You take notes while they're talking to you. Or if you've done research and there's a column, it's usually one of the last columns on a spreadsheet where it says notes or comments. That's where you put all the notes. And the one thing I usually put is the date. For instance, today is 2/13/2026. And I spoke to John Doe. He said he had 3 children. He's been at his job 20 years. Those type of notes. He set the appointment for, and I put the date and time he set the appointment for, because that gives me 2 places I can look and see the appointment. You see it on the contact sheet, then later you're going to see it on the appointment tab. So you take notes, you log them on the spreadsheet. Now, there's a tab, all these tabs going across the bottom of a spreadsheet. One of the tabs is going to be the appointment tab. When you click on it, you're going to see a bunch of boxes. Across the top will be the date, and down the side will be the times. You pick the box that corresponds with the date and time your contact shows for the appointment. And in that box, these are the 8 things that I'd like you to put. I'd like you to put the contact's name, like Valerie Brown Klingelhofer, her title, Superintendent of Schools, her business, ABC School Board, the address, not the address necessarily that's on the contact page, but the address of the appointment. Because say it's a Facebook lead, they're not going to have a business, have to meet at a coffee shop. So you put the address of the appointment. Then you put the email. And the reason why you put the email on the appointment page is because if you're opening a club, you need to designate someone to do email reminders of all the appointments 2 days before the appointment. That way they will show up. Chances are they will show up. Some people will stand you up regardless, but most of the time,
Laura, you're giving away all the secrets in the house, and a lot of people don't realize that they need to have this Google Doc even for their own clubs. So when you're trying to grow your club, you should be using this very same Google Doc to do this, because this is golden material. So even though people may not set an appointment now, and you have 200, 300 contacts, you can go back to it again later, because a no is a no for now, not a no for always. And unfortunately, we're getting pressing to the top of the piece. So are there a couple more steps that you think are really, really significant that if we missed it, you're below the process?
So on the appointment tab, you need name, title, business, address of the appointment, email, phone number, preferably cell phone, because sometimes you'll get bad weather and you're going to need the cell phone. Maybe the business shuts down. The road shut down. It snowed last year in Florida when we were opening 4 clubs. Everything's shut down.
That just sounds so wrong.
You need the line number on the contact page. So you don't have to look down the whole page. Or you can do Control F and type in the person's name. It will pop up at the top and it will highlight it on the page. And you need your initials. Why? Because somebody may need to contact you and say, what's up with this appointment? What can you tell me? And you also need to log your information on the team page. They're going to have a page for everybody that goes out in the field. Make sure your name's on there with your phone number and your email. And that's it.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And so I think at a number of the midwinters and mid-year conferences, some of this information is available. And if you have a KI person like Donna Burrell or Ray, Jay Hubbard or Katrina coming and showing up to your mid-year, you might want to ask for access to one of these Google Sheets or Google Docs so that your club individually can set one up. I know that my home club has one as we're getting ready to do our boost and our club revitalization. If you're opening a brand new club, they're going to get information from you, Laura, on this. This has been pretty amazing, hasn't it, Aaron?
Yeah, it's a lot of great tools and quite frankly, a great refresher in a lot of ways. Just remember, folks, there's a reason God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth. We're supposed to listen twice as much as we speak. Keep that in mind when you're talking with these people.
Absolutely. So, Laura, as you wrap up, because we've got a couple of other big things that we really want to do, and our other guest is going to have to come on another show because this is so important. It's like, wow. What would be the one thing that you think if they don't take away anything else from this show? What do you think? What would you say?
Listen to what they have to say. Why? Because it's like you said earlier, people go where the love is. If you listen, you show interest. Everybody has a Kiwanis story. Do they care about your Kiwanis story? Chances are no. But they want you to hear what they have to say. You can tell them your Kiwanis story on down the road. Listen to what they have to say.
Right on. Beautiful. Right on. All right. Thank you, Laura. Appreciate that. All right, we're gonna move on. Laura, if you want to hang out for the rest of the show and whatnot, you're more than welcome. If you need to boogie woogie onto your next club to build, that's okay too. You're welcome to disconnect. That is purely up to you. We love you and being part of the show. With that, it is time now for Doc Val's Wow of the Moment. Here we go.
I have my cowboy hat on, and that is because my president, Burt West, has come up with a tagline, no bad days. And it has been a wow statement for me over and over again. And today, Burt West enters into the radiation phase of HIT, and it'll be the next couple months of radiation down in Texas. And I always knew he was special, but 1 in 30 million, wow. And I know that we all have our hats on. Hats off to you, Burt. We know that you are thriving. And if you want a No Bad Days shirt, you are more. They're available out there, and we'll put the link on YouTube and on the Facebook page so that you can get your own No Bad Days shirt in honor and support for this cancer research that's being done, because this is a 1 in 30 million research project. And my hat's off to you. I know I'm going to have bad hat hair, but thanks. So
right on, Bert. Positive thoughts at you. I think everybody's happy I put the hat on because it's killing the shine. So I put a little shade out there. I know John loves it when the shade comes off my head. All right, absolutely. Thoughts and prayers, Bert. Positive feedback and inspiration and motivation to you. All right, with that, it is without further ado, with Valentine's Day being tomorrow, the next edition of Valentine's Day themed Bad Dad Jokes right now. Hit it, John. pressure's on because I just saw the view numbers go up over the last 5 seconds. All right, Andy, these are for you, my friend. Don't roll off the couch or anything, hurt yourself, but laugh at you will. All right, here you go. Did you hear about the 2 tennis players that fell in love? It was a true courtship. Tennis courts, okay. Sticking with the tennis theme, why do tennis players make the best spouses? Why is it? Because they know everything about love. If you follow the scoring of tennis, that will make total sense to you. If you don't, went over like a lead balloon. All right, may have gone over like a lead balloon anyway. All right. Hey, did you hear about the shoes that got engaged? Did you hear about the shoes that got engaged?
They tied the knot.
No, that's good, but they're really soulmates.
Oh.
Yes, sir. But tied the knot's pretty good too there, Doug. Now see, after 3 years of doing this, you're finally catching on. I love it.
I'm not as slow as I look.
No, you're right on. You're right on. I'm slowly learning that these are really bad, and I still do them anyway. Hey, what flowers get the most kisses on Valentine's Day? What flowers get the most kisses on Valentine's Day, you may say? How about tulips? That's right. See, tulips, kisses.
So even Dave and Kathy Szymanski are getting this stuff. They say you're getting better by the minute.
Yeah. And as a matter of fact, everybody liked your answer of tied the knot better than soulmates. But hey, I just read them, folks. I don't write them. All right, here you go. Hey, you hear about this one? How did the telephone propose? How did the telephone propose? Come on now, think about it. It proposed with a ring. Ooh, why shouldn't you fall in love? Oh, you like that one, Val, huh? All right, see, that one you like. As corny as they've all been, that's the one you like. Why shouldn't you fall in love with a pastry chef? Why should you never fall in love with, listen, Nagel, everybody's going to encourage me, so stop it now. Why shouldn't you fall in love with a pastry chef? Because they'll desert you, all right? Dessert. Yes, I saw you like that last. You're trying to hold it in, Val. All right, you like that last one. Here we go. Only a couple more. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Peas.
Keys who?
No. Peas, like peas and carrots. Peas.
Peas who?
Peas be mine.
Lord, peas be what?
Peas be mine.
Aww.
And to bring it home, last one. What do astronauts say to their sweethearts?
I love you to the moon and back.
There you have it. That does it for this version of Aaron's Bad Dad Jokes Valentine's Day style. Boy, Val, you know what?
I'm on fire.
You ought to take pain meds more often. Look at what you did with dad jokes today. You were on target with just about all of them today. Well, thanks for joining us today and for putting up with Valentine's Day themed bad dad jokes.
You know, I love our show, and I'm so thankful, Laura, that you joined us today. And for those of you watching, you can just, it's fast forwarding through all our reality parts because we're real, and we want to make sure that everybody knows that we can't make this stuff up. This is how we roll. There are a lot more tools and tips, and so if you go to our YouTube site or you go to Facebook, you'll see more tips and tricks. Come to some of the mid-year conferences. Go to Kiwanis International's conference in Manila because we're going to be talking a lot about this, and you actually get to hug Laura. And so that's what you'll want to do. And it's if you have a couple spare seconds, please send up some prayers and responses for all those people out there. Send out some love.
Absolutely. To everybody, Bert, and to Andy, get well. And to anybody else that just needs a little uplifting, this is where the K family comes in. So, Bert, I, too, will tip my cap to you, sir, because I actually have a picture of you with your cowboy hat on wearing the purple shirt that I lost in a auction to Julie Carter. And you were kind enough to put the shirt on. And positive thoughts and prayers. All right, everybody, that does it. Hey, quick programming note. Catch this show 8 a.m. Sunday mornings, DBTV.tv. Tomorrow, what time am I on tomorrow? Oh, I'm on twice tomorrow, 11 to 12 Eastern, Aaron's Hour. My guest is Carlo Moore, former boxer, Navy, He's written a couple of books about PTSD and how he has survived, and he's helping others. So check that out in 12:30 local time here on Cox Cable Channel 4. The voice of 757, highlighting the best there is in the Hampton Roads area. I have two guests tomorrow. Laura Halcomb and Eli Colon will be on tomorrow. Check out the Facebook page because once a show airs on TV, I post it on Facebook. With that, everybody, be kind to everybody. Why? We're all we have. We'll see you next time right here on Kiwanis Connects. This show is adjourned.